Hello, hello, hello. You're back at the right swipe. And unfortunately, our big man host is not here tonight, Curtis Joseph. He's missing in action tonight. I think he has something else to do. Maybe he's getting more data for the podcast. That's what I'm hoping for. What about you, Josh? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Done some drinking today, so we're ready for a podcast.
Yeah, it's a little bit later than we hoped to start. We had a little bit of technical issues, and especially because, our buddy Curtis wasn't here. We didn't have like our normal setup, and we were like, we still want to keep our content going. We want to keep our, whoever's listening excited about it because we have some funny stuff to say, and like, let's just keep it there. But yeah, so it's a little later than usual. So fortunately, it's not as blazing hot here in Cincinnati as it usually is. Like today, it was unbearable. But at the moment, it's probably like 88 degrees,
Maybe.
with like a breeze. Like it's kind of ridiculous.
It's a little bearable.
Yeah. It's all right. But anyway, it was just 4th of July. So, Josh, tell us what you did on your 4th of July.
Let's see. The night before, I went out on a bar crawl and got
Fun.
pretty drunk.
Cool. Where'd you go? Like, what part of town?
We started in Clifton, went to Northside, went to Price Hill, then Cheviot,
Of course.
and then Delhi, and then back here.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you came back home. You didn't have to like get an Uber or anything.
No,
That's actually that's like legit.
I had a DDD.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's awesome.
The designated drunk driver.
Who? Oh,
Yeah.
oh wait, DDD.
Yeah, the 3Ds, not
I
the
thought
two.
you just said a DD. I was like, okay, wow. Well, that's, it's really hard to have a friend that's like willing to do that. Unless, okay, sometimes I'm okay to do that if I'm not out with them and they're just like, if you're gonna be up at 2 a.m., like, come pick us up. And I'm like, okay, if this is like my only option, I will do it.
No, you should never drunk drive. You just Uber around.
No, I agree. And if you don't Uber around, then, have a friend like me who like can't go out both days of the weekend and, is willing to
I mean, my
Uber
driver,
her friends over,
My
for
driver only
free.
had a couple of beers, but he doesn't drink that often, so I know he was a little drunk.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Understood.
unfortunately.
Yeah, understood. But like, as long as you're really like keeping control of it, I think you're all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, on 4th of July for me, so so here in Cincinnati, we have a neighborhood called Northside, and it's really like it's like across the way from where we live, me and Josh. Curtis actually lives a bit out in the boonies, and that's why he couldn't come out tonight because it was a bit of a drive for him this late at night after we got all of our stuff together. But anyway, like, basically North Side is like the super, hipster, very liberal, full LGBTQ plus, like a super fan of all of that very liberal type of stuff. And some other like, I guess you call them, I don't know if they're as much neighborhoods as much as suburban areas that are very a little bit more conservative. But so it's kind of a fun little area in Cincinnati that there's like this booming like blossom of super liberal, just everyone loves everyone. And so for 4th of July, they always have a huge parade down the main street in Northside. And so me and my best friend Paloma went, and it was really great. I mean, it was hot as balls, as usual here in Cincy. Like, it was dire heat. And also trying to find a parking space over there is a disaster because I think we've Ubered a few times in like the past few years, but this time I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna drink very much. I'll just have like a few drinks at the parade, but you get so hot, you need to just drink a ton of water. And I was like, but I'll be able to drive us back. And literally finding a parking space took me like, I'm embarrassed to say, it took me like 30 to 45 minutes. And Paloma was just sitting there in the passenger seat, like, yeah, like, I'm just ready. Like, I'm just so ready to party. Like,
Well,
4th
it's
of
already
July.
pretty hard to find a parking spot north side, let alone a big parade, festivities.
I know, but I thought that I knew all the secret spots. That was it. Like, I thought I was like,
But that's the
I
thing
know.
about north side, right? Everyone is the hipster. Everyone
Exactly.
has their secrets.
But I was like, I've
so
been
it's
to
not a
these.
secret.
I've been to these parades so many times. Like, I know where all the like super crowded spots are. Like, I'll go, the other way. But unfortunately, I think I literally like lost a spot 3 times just because I didn't like grab it quick enough. So maybe next time I'll go a little like 30 minutes earlier and I'll get like a great spot. But then, who knows what'll happen after. But anyway, at the parade, it was awesome. It's such a fun parade. And what was funny to me was that it was just me and my best friend Paloma, and we were, trying to see the parade and whatever. And um, she's very much more extroverted than I. She's very, she just wants to be around people and like see everybody and like get that energy. And I'm a little bit more on the introverted side. And so we were trying to find a spot to watch the parade. And so in Northside, there's one little park that's right on the corner that the parade follows down. And so we were in this park. So it's like some green grass, some trees. And I was like egging us on to go under this like it was like a weeping willow type of tree, but it wasn't a weeping willow, but it just had that vibe. Like all of the leaves went out and over in like a dome, and there was nothing underneath. It wasn't a true weeping willow, but a similar like structural physiology of the tree. And that's where I wanted to hang out. And Paloma, just being, and I love that about her. She just loves talking to people and seeing people. She was like, she hung out with me under there for like, 15 minutes. And then she was like, okay, but we need to still like go see everyone. Like we need to talk to people. And even though we were not able to see any of the parade, we were sitting with a bunch of people out under some shade. And that was like good enough for her. And it was, I don't know, it was just an interesting lesson for me. I don't know, I feel like I've been rambling on about this, but it was interesting socially, I guess, is all I'm trying to.
Yeah, I've been trying to make it out to the north side 4th of July parades, but
yeah.
One is it's usually always super fucking hot on the 4th of July.
It's so
and
hot.
I suck in the heat. I don't do well.
It's so hot.
But also I've had a tradition of my own.
Josh is like a vampire, literally. Like he doesn't like hot sun or anything other than
people.
Black. Yeah, he doesn't like people. He might suck their blood.
Maybe. No, so I've always had my own 4th of July tradition since I was like 18.
Which is?
Where I will buy a 30 case of High Life and drink it somewhere. This year was the first year I didn't do that. This year I sat right here, took an edible, vegged out, play video games.
Shut up, really?
Yep, I didn't do a damn thing. I mean, I got drunk the night before, and I was like, that's good enough.
Me.
And I have to work super early, so like, I was off the 4th, but I had to work the following day, so I don't want to get drunk.
Fuck. Right. You had to work Friday?
Oh, yeah.
Of course you did. No, I know. Luckily, because I'm so lucky, I got Friday off because
a lot of people did, not me.
Yeah. It's just me and my PI in the lab right now, and we both decided that, maybe it would just be nice to have a 4-day weekend, and I was like, let's just do it.
How is George, by the way?
He's doing great. He actually, we had our lab meeting instead of on Friday, on Wednesday, because, because we knew that we had decided not to be in school on Friday. We basically made a conscious and together decision that we wanted a 4-day weekend because our old lab mate Maddie is she's basically who we want to see because she's moving out of the state into Maine. Oh my god, I'm so proud of her, but at the same time very sad. But she's moving out there in the end of July, and so we're trying to find any time that we can to have lab meetings with her, because she's our most recent graduate. But anyway, so we kind of were just like, we'll just do Friday the way we want to, and just have a chill Friday. And I was really happy about that because I needed some downtime.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
But yeah.
I've kind of spent my last few weekends really just being super lazy, chill at home, playing
Yeah.
video games, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's been kind of nice because for the last while, I've been out partying and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
No, wait, but okay, before we get into anything really
the
fun,
nitty gritty.
I wanted to just, I don't know if I'm just being annoying or also just curious. But okay, so tonight, Josh, when I got here, he was watching a tournament of some sorts, and I just want to get like a little bit of details on that, just so I can like have some understanding for, basically for me, but also for if there's any girls out there watching or listening. I guess
I see what you're
listening.
doing.
You know, like.
So, what I was watching was a tournament for World of Warcraft.
Wow.
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 Yeah. I
they
have played
say.
World of Warcraft for 15 years because I'm a giant nerd. But so the tournament I was watching, it's for what's called Classic WoW, if anyone out there understands. If not, I'm not going to explain it to you.
Yeah.
But
Look it
basically,
up.
it was just
I don't know it.
a tournament of PvP, which is player versus player.
Player versus player.
And it was in a duel setting, so each player would duel each other.
The players were like fighting each other, and he was watching, and it was
Yeah.
very interesting. Like, World of Warcraft is something that, I don't know. It's just it's magical to me. I mean, maybe it's just ever since I watched that South Park episode.
Exactly. How do you kill which that has no
No,
life?
when I saw like how you can like, you know, just be your own. It's like a real life.
Yeah, it's a fantasy. It's an RPG role play.
Yeah, like role playing game, like in real, like, or it has its own real time, but you're a real character and people are their
Yeah.
own real characters too. It's crazy. I don't know, but I was very excited by that.
I've
so I
always
thought I'd
had,
bring it in.
when it comes to video games, I've always had a semi-competitive aspect to playing. So generally the games I play are multiplayer against players. And
okay.
so I have a deep fascination with skill level. So I like watching the top-end competition to see just how skillful someone is. Of course, for
Interesting.
someone, unfortunately, like you, who has
no idea.
you watch it, you
I
don't know
see.
what you're looking at.
I have no idea. I literally don't get it. They're talking in the words.
Right.
I wish I understood, but and I get that it's like it's another level of, you know, stuff, you know, like knowledge.
Well, it's just like watching any physical contact sport you don't know.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
and they're
completely.
talking about some rules or
Oh
something.
yeah.
And you're like,
Speaking
I
of
have
which,
no
okay,
idea.
let's just talk about today.
USA.
Today is freaking July 7th, 2019, and guess who won the fucking
USA.
U.S.
2 years.
like
2 years in a row.
Women's World Cup? Like,
Yeah.
wow, I'm
Some
feeling-
badass women.
I'm so impressed.
So, interesting fact, Ben.
Yeah, tell me.
Ben. His cousin's one of the women on that team. Yeah.
No,
Now
our
I've
friend
never met
Ben
her. Yeah.
from
Yeah.
His cousin,
Yeah.
like regular cousin,
Yeah,
not like a
small world.
second cousin.
Well, I don't know what
Okay.
in relation.
No,
I
but
just
I
know
don't
a
even care.
cousin.
I don't even care. Even if it's his third cousin, that is impressive.
Hell
That
yeah.
is awesome. No, that's so sick. Oh fuck! Cheers to that,
Yeah,
buddy.
But USA. won.
Wow. No, yeah, I mean, I've been seeing all these memes about it, and like, I'm just such a non-sports. I'm so anti.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
And
watch
I'm,
any
I'm
physical
not
contact sports.
anti-sports, but I don't have a TV that shows real time. You know, it's all just Netflix and Hulu, that kind of, you know, Roku stuff. No real TV stuff.
I'm a nerd and I watch esports versus physical sports, but you know, really same thing.
Yeah, but I feel like you were still more maybe educated on the fact that the U.S. women's team was
Well,
about
I do,
to play.
I do manage a sports bar.
That's true. I guess that's
So,
true. Yeah,
unfortunately,
but when is okay? Tell me when have the women's team been playing at Catskiller?
every day during the week that they play.
Where? Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
The big one?
Yeah,
Of course.
ever since they were in the World
Yeah.
Cup, every game has been played.
See, this is just shows
The thing
how
is,
much
like,
of a
unfortunately for Catskiller, we only play games when people request them. Otherwise, the games that we'll show will be games that are local games, so Reds, Bengals,
Yeah.
Cyclones, stuff like that. FCC, you know. But
yeah.
so
No,
unless there's a request, that's
I understand, and this is just showing my very low knowledge on sports. I'm embarrassed to say, but I know that happened, so I thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting.
No, it's super exciting, and I know
our
there's
women's
a lot of
team-
a lot of our women's team. I've been how I've known is because I follow a lot of LGBTQ plus pages on Instagram, and they post so much about this women's team, and I'm just so
Yeah, they're a fucking good team.
I'm so about it. And
To
it's
my knowledge, they won the last one, and
this
so they
one,
won
yeah.
yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, I know. I'm all about it, and I'm all about all of them. I played soccer when I was 11 and under. So
I played hockey.
you
Didn't
played
turn out well.
hockey. Oh my God, he was like a little Canadian.
Yeah,
But
except
he
I was
wasn't
drinking
from
beer and playing
Canada.
hockey.
Beer hockey.
It was
Oh
not
man,
great.
Josh.
Do not recommend. Do not recommend.
Knocky instead of hockey.
Yeah, you get knocked the fuck out.
Getting
for
knocked
sure.
your ass out. Anyway, well, so let's get to some dating ideas. Let's think about some stuff. So basically, what me and Josh decided previous to this, starting this podcast was, we get a lot of great ideas just chatting about what happens with us, and so we thought let's not actually plan any certain stories we're going to talk about.
Yeah, this is just a chat and see what sparks from
This
it.
is going to be like a chat and fun chat. Just shoot the shit and let it all out there. Let's be real and talk about how it all is and feels, and do whatever, but not tonight. We're not really going to have any specific big stories that we're going to look into, or
It could
dissect.
spark from it, but nothing
It
was
could,
planned.
but yeah, we don't have anything for sure about that.
But I have a question that I know will probably spark something.
Exciting.
So let's talk about opening lines.
Oh my God, no! See, this is the wrong time for me to be. This is the time for fucking.
Yeah,
oh
but
my
you
God,
have some.
I
some
know.
previous
No, I
things.
don't have any. Okay, opening lines. You mean pickup lines?
So I'll give an example, right? So this
Okay.
happens a lot. For
I'll
me.
tell you what I would respond to it. Can I do
So
that?
so sure, this happens a lot for me on dating apps, where when I match someone, and typically the guy responds first, and I think there's a social stigma where it's kind of
No,
expected.
okay. This was actually something I wanted to talk about, and we'll get into this later. But about same-sex interactions.
Sure.
But I can only talk about.
But so this happens a lot. I'll match with someone. I'll
Yeah.
take my time to think
Tell
of
me.
something, because one of the things I try not to do is give the same opening line, where
Okay.
it's just scripted, right? Like,
No,
I'm
yeah,
just gonna
of
copy
course,
paste this shit
yeah.
all the time.
You want to,
And-
make something personal.
And one of those things is for me is when you match someone, I'm gonna kind of look at the profile, see what information there is, and try to make some opening line that has some similarity to spark interest in a conversation.
Yeah. Make it
But
personal. Yeah.
This happens a lot. So one, I already very few get matches.
Oh.
Two, when the matches happen, I'll give the opening line. After the opening line is given, then they unmatch me.
Oh my God, Josh. Okay. Tell me all these opening lines. I think
Well,
there may be a problem here. I think.
Maybe. It could be. It could be. But
No, yeah, but that's just,
so
this is
I'll
what we're
try
doing
my
here.
best to give something that I think the person
Yeah,
I'm
that
talking
they're
to is
gonna
going
want.
to like.
Yeah, no, and I
you know.
believe that. I believe that
So,
about you. I
Um,
believe.
here's a fantastic one that a mutual friend of ours, I think, copy pastes one of three, but here's one that he'll say.
Okay, I love it.
So I used this once. It worked for a conversation for a day, and then afterwards that was unmatched. But in any case, so you match with someone, you open it up with like, hey, do you like cheesy pickup lines, and do you also have a dark sense of humor?
Okay.
So if they respond as like absolutely
yeah,
sure, whatever,
sure.
then your
Of course,
response
the girl's
is,
gonna say.
I would love to take a bath with you. Or so I'm sorry, I'll fuck this up. Are you a toaster? Because I would love to take a bath with you.
Are you a what?
A toaster.
A Oh man.
Because then the response would be like, yeah,
So
I'm
you're saying,
sure
like,
sparks would fly.
I'm sure. No, okay, that shocked me. I wasn't expecting
Well, it
that.
kind of goes on a few levels. Like
No, yeah,
self-deprecation.
it's just so fucked
but
up, and I love
it's
it. And
funny
I hate it, and I
and,
love it.
you know.
No, because it's so fucked up. I mean, obviously, yeah, like.
I mean, for me, that speaks to me on several levels, which is great. But
No,
obviously, it does
yes,
not
no,
speak to most people.
I mean, not for everyone, but yeah, for people in that, like that's like at least we're on the same, like, maybe that is what that is. It's kind of it's like a screener of like, it's a screening device that's saying, hey, like, are you in as dark a place as me? And if so, I'll know what your answer is. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna say
it's
yeah
one of those
or nay.
things where the icebreaker is, do you have a dark sense of humor? And if you don't,
Yeah, but
obviously
also
this will not work out.
Yeah, no, for
You know.
sure. No, of course. But it's just crazy. I mean, that came out of nowhere. That was just like with nothing from.
Well, I mean, that was the whole thing. Was like you match
just
someone on,
match 'em
and in
and
their
that was
profile
it.
they're like, I like sarcasm, dark sense of humor. So you're like, oh well, hey, let's open with that. And then it's like,
Oh my god, no, that's awesome. I mean, that awesome. That honestly kind of shows that person.
well, yeah, it
Whoever
speaks to
asked for it, like, yeah, no, I mean, it gives them what they wanted.
But that's what I mean by when you meet someone or match with someone and you go through the profile and you're trying to relate, and that's a subject.
No, exactly.
dark
Like
sense
that's
of
something
humor.
that'll and that worked out. Did it work?
Well,
out?
that worked for a day of
for a
conversation
day,
for
yeah.
me, and then
Yeah.
that was it afterwards.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
for our mutual friend, he uses
Because
that.
because
and
he
it works
found
all the
he
time.
obviously found a girl or who really vibed with that, and
Well,
that's
yeah.
like, I mean, I can't say that I wouldn't vibe with it. I don't know. It would have to depend on more conversation, because
Well, everything you can never judge off the opening line.
no, exactly.
But unfortunately, there's a lot of judgment off the opening
There
line.
is. There's
which is
so
why I wanted
much.
to talk about the subject.
No, the opening line is
'Cause
really tough.
It's really hard to say what you're supposed to say, right? Like if you just open up with like, hey, how are you doing? That's the most generic thing, and some people can immediately become interested because it's not specific
because
to
it's
them.
not cool enough. Yeah, it's not something that's gonna like. So, what's fucked up is, okay, what I've noticed, at least with the females that I know, and I've seen on dating apps, let's say, okay, which is like a few, including myself. Like it's been a few, but it's like the thing that really makes the biggest difference, I think, is and it has nothing to do with the person who sends the message, but it's like when they send it, it's all about timing. Like if this girl is like going through, like I've seen it happen, like when this girl's going through her her dating app, she's like looking through these folks she's seen maybe before, and like whatever, and then something pops up, and it's like this funny something that like catches her attention, her eye, even if it's funny and stupid. Like if she's into it, then she's gonna respond, and that's like, I mean, this is like after the fact that you've already matched, right?
Right,
Like
yes.
we've already matched, but even matching doesn't, I mean, that doesn't ensure anything.
Well,
for
yeah,
real.
I mean, the big thing is when you're matching with people.
Matching is like the physical.
You could be very selective. Like
Yeah.
you might match with 10 people in a day. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I only want to talk to one.
Right, because
And now you have a pool of 10.
mhm.
Which I think happens quite a bit for people, unfortunately. Some people will match and never hear from them because
No,
they
exactly,
decided to talk
because
to
of the
someone
same
else.
the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because I feel like, yeah, exactly. People go through these like matching or not even matching, but just like searching phases of, certain periods of time, like in these hours. And I mean, half the time it's about timing. Other half of the time is just you're lucky. Because if somebody hasn't gotten like that response yet, yes, Josh, loved
Yeah.
it. Anyway, sorry. But if they haven't gotten that response yet, then like they're gonna wait. They haven't gotten a response from anybody. They're gonna wait until they hear it, and until that somebody that maybe feels them on that same level is gonna respond, which may not happen, which is the scariest part.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, maybe a lot of my opening lines just don't hit. Maybe I think they do, but they don't, and I miss out on that. But regardless, let's point that at you.
I
How
don't
many
know.
times has someone that you matched with gave you an opening line and you didn't respond and or unmatched?
Okay,
And for what reasons?
okay. I've never. Okay, I think that the only times I've ever unmatched someone because of their opening line was if it was really or crude or like blatantly racist or like homophobic
People
or
open with
something like that.
blatant racism.
I mean, yeah.
That's
Some people
terrifying.
are like people will just like give you everything and it's like
I
that's
mean, I've matched with maybe less than 5 women that gave me the opening line, so I don't know what that's like to have someone just immediately talk with racism.
it's just like I mean talking
They
about
just give you like a
Cincinnati.
30-second play-by-play of what they are.
I mean, I guess it's kind of like a Cincinnati thing.
I don't know.
Like
I
if
think it's everywhere, unfortunately.
because we're from Cincinnati, and so I mean our city has, I don't know the numbers, but we have a large black population, and I'm used to that. I've grown up with it. I've been in public school my whole life, and I mean it's a great. I think it's really important, but I think some people that I've matched with like. I don't want to name names, but like
You don't have to
from
name
I'm
anyone.
not
That's the whole
no
point, is
names,
to
but like
remain
name
anonymous.
states. But basically, like from Kentucky, because Cincinnati is on the border of Kentucky and Ohio. But some people from Kentucky and so I mean, let's be real. Even some people from like rural Ohio.
Yeah,
It's just
that's what I was. I mean, racism exists everywhere.
I know it just sucks, and it's just
It does.
you never want to talk about. It just sucks, and I hate. I just hate it.
So when you talk about crude statements, is that like vulgar, sexually gross?
Yeah,
Statements,
basically,
yeah.
it's like they found my Instagram and they're like, oh wow, like big titties, like love to suck them or like some bullshit, and I'm just like, okay, like who the fuck are you? First of
Well, so
all,
that goes.
and there's no big titties in my. There were no big titties. I mean, my titties are big, but my titties aren't like big in any of my like pictures
They're not out and
on
about.
the dating app. They're on Instagram.
But do you link your Instagram on your dating account?
I don't link it, but I have
The name.
the name.
That's the same.
The
You're just
same.
like,
I
"Hey,
guess
come
it
to
is
my
the
Instagram."
same.
Well, no, I mean, you're giving people an open invite if you're putting your Instagram
No,
there. So
and
you
I-
should
no,
expect
I
someone
agree, I
who
agree.
either A, matches or hasn't matched but has interest to immediately
No,
look at your
I
Instagram.
agree.
And I'm sure because of that, you probably get more DMs through Instagram than you get matches on the dating app.
Oh yeah, it's been. Well, the thing is I'm kind of a lame these days. I haven't posted in a while, but when I was like, I haven't posted, and I can't remember. It's been a minute and a half.
You didn't post
basically.
anything from the Arachnid convention?
Not this. Maybe it was only a like a story, not a like a full post.
Oh, okay.
My last post. What was my last post? I honestly can't even remember. It's like a whole thing. Let me figure it out. Well, I can't. Actually,
She's digging through her bag. I know what she's looking
I'm
for.
digging through my bag and I still can't find it, so I don't know where my phone is. I think I'm sitting on it.
Oh, I thought you were going for a drink, which is I was like, oh, let me move this.
No, I don't know. Well, anyway, I can't find it, but anyway.
Might be with Mel.
It might be with
Yeah,
Mel.
yeah.
Oh, the baby girl. So yeah, okay. Also, which is kind of fun tonight, which is, you know, exciting for me, is my baby girl, my little doggy baby, Merlin. Well, her full name is Amelie, but for short we call her Mel, and then when she's being kind of funny we call her Merle, and then sometimes when she's just just too cute to talk about, we call her, this is just me, I call her Merlin
So she's just
because
confused
she's
about
magic.
what her name is.
Yeah. But she's back there just like laying out like a fucking
Just chilling like a dog.
sprawled ass baby. She's an unknown species of dog. But anyway, let's get back to the story. I don't know. I can't find my phone. I don't know what to tell you.
That's fine. But yeah, so point was a lot of opening lines, I think unfortunately make or break a conversation. And that's a really hard thing to get, like, as an icebreaker, it's really
No,
hard.
it is. That's what I'm trying to tell you is like it's not all about the line, it's about the time you give it, and it has nothing to do with like where you are, but it's about wherever that girl is
Sure.
when she sees it.
Well, I mean, this would go both ways. It's
No,
not
yeah,
just,
and
you know.
agreed. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But that's just all I have to say, because there's sometimes when I'm like still, like I was still in an app, and then it pops up and it's like something clever, and I'm like, okay, like let's go back and forth with this, like let's see what goes on. And then there's other times where I'll be, just not in the mood at all. My phone is like off, and I just like open it up and I see that there's like, some message from somebody on something. And I'm just like, I am not in the mood to deal with it. And so I don't even give it the energy. And I know that, I mean, it's fucked up, but I don't know what else to say. Like, that's just, everybody has their own times of being available, I guess. And I don't know how you kind of change your own. It's just kind of how it works out, I guess. I don't know.
Sure. So, one of the other things I have is after I get through the opening line and we have conversation,
Mm-hmm.
A lot of time it's just a conversation for one day, and then it's dead afterwards, no response.
Okay.
So, I don't know if that's ever happened to you, where you were interested in someone having conversation, and then after a day or maybe 2 days, it just
Yeah.
ends.
That's happened to me. It's been, usually it's like,
The weird thing is, a lot of times when you consistently talk throughout the day, the
Yeah.
conversation seems to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And there seems to be all interest on both parties,
Mhm.
So after the day, you go to the next day, and then there's no response.
something
And then the next
changes.
day, no response. And it's
Huh.
just basically ghosting.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what happened?
Yeah,
What did
like,
I
what-
say wrong? Or maybe you were occupying someone's time for just the day because they had nothing else and they were bored.
I know, it's like so for me, I've had conversations with people, just messaging through an app, through whatever, and it'll go good, and it'll go great, and it'll be like whatever. There are some times when I have felt like this isn't going to be something that I can actually meet in person. Like this isn't going to be someone that I can truly, see myself with, that I can actually go out and see. But I don't know. In my own, for myself, I could never. I just can't do that. Like, just talk to them and then just leave nothing ever. Like, when I do, I've ghosted people, but it's never with nothing. Like, I have to at least see them and give it a chance. But if it's someone that I don't have any, like, I can tell, I give them, like, what I can give them in an easy letdown, I guess. You know, just like, I'm really sorry. I don't think this is going to work between us for
Well, that's not
multiple
necessarily
reasons.
ghosting if you're giving them a form of closure.
No, yeah, but in there has been, I'm just thinking of other situations, not within that first talking to, though, for me. I've not ghosted anyone within that first. If I'm talking to somebody within the first meeting on a dating app, I'm either going to just say, like, no, or I'm going to do it. Or else, or else I'm going to say, like, oh, and this is just something I hated about myself. Like, it's not right and it's not good, but I'll give, like, a hi back, or like a hey, what's up? Or sometimes I'll do the first message. But if it takes, like, a whole day for somebody to respond to me, like, I'm like, okay, I've given up. I have a real problem with text messaging, honestly. Like, just messaging via, words on a page.
Well, I think a lot of people have issues because A, the response is usually at their leisurely time.
Yeah.
B, you can't get tone.
You can't get
and
any
so therefore
tone.
C, context gets misconstrued.
And that's when people get super confused and stuff gets so misinterpreted. I know, and I honestly I'm horrible in text talking about something for real. Like, I have to talk to somebody in person. Like, I can be like, okay, like I'll give you, like, we can start maybe, like, I don't even know, like, the seeds of this conversation, but there's no way that I could ever get into it as much as if I could in a person.
Anybody is good at reading a conversation in text message, even those who are like, oh, I prefer text message over speaking in person, because they will claim that they can read a situation, but that's because they already have some
predetermined or
so, like,
whatever.
You give a statement and they're thinking it means this, but you could have been meaning that.
Exactly.
You know. But yeah, I think just as humans, we're not programmed for reading text.
No,
at least in any form of emotional statement.
I know
as
that
form as data entry, sure, but
data entry, aka, like, this is like the new era of dating, though. Is this new?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, we now have about 2 decades of text messaging, maybe 10 to 15 years of it really being something.
People are more comfortable with that than being, like, talking in real life, and that's, like, I mean, just watch.
Well, I think that comes down to because a lot of people have just issues with confrontation, and through text message,
well, and it's because
you don't have
of
confrontation.
the amount of exactly. It's a fucking cycle. It's a real bad, like, self-feeding, like, circle of.
And I think that's why a lot more people have issues with social anxiety.
No, I agree. I mean,
not that anything's necessarily wrong with it. But we're in an age of,
I agree, but
you can send data.
Yeah, at this age, it's like you have to be good at all of the portals to be yourself. You know, like, you're yourself through Facebook, through Instagram, through, you know, I mean, LinkedIn, I don't know, whatever else you, like, promote yourself through. And then you're also yourself through your job, and then through your social life. And it's like, how many selves can you be?
Well, that's the thing, is at the same time, the unfortunate byproduct is what you display as yourself, or I would say most people display it as themselves, is wrong. Because you're going to do your best to display what you think is your best self in your social media, and that's not necessarily who you are as a human being.
Exactly.
People can come off super narcissistic, or
people can come off, because they're trying to do what they think is what's best for their image. And when we're like, okay, and let's talk about image here. When we're not in LA, worrying about image as our fucking like livelihood, but still our world technologically is becoming everything about our image. It's all Instagram. It's all, I don't know, it's crazy. And us folks out in the boonies, I guess, I guess what all I have to say, and take this as a joke in its own, all us boonie folk are the true hipsters here. No, but really, because we, like, fuck, like, it's never gonna be as easy to be anything from out where we are.
I don't think it's ever easy to
It's never
try
easy.
to display something that people
No,
will
you're
expect
right.
you to be. You know, I think even your point for Hollywood standard, people who are super famous, I think, have to live a life that's not them.
That's not
They could-
them. Yeah.
But that's also not everybody. There's a lot of
But there-
people who
yeah.
are celebrities who are just
Yeah.
like, fuck that, I am
No,
me.
yeah, exactly.
You know, which again I think is why a lot more people can connect with comedians, because
Yeah.
they're not putting a face for the most part. It's
Right.
that's them.
Yeah.
You know,
I
they're
know,
they're
yeah.
up front, they're out and about,
No, and I love
and they
that.
still have super huge fame.
Yeah.
Well, I mean a select of them. Amongst the comedians, I believe there's a general consensus that most of the funniest comedians are still not famous.
Yeah.
Right? You know.
No, yeah. I mean, the funnier you get, okay, scratch that. The more famous you get, the funnier you decrease, basically. Just because you don't live like the everyman anymore. You know, like, you can't relate to every human anymore.
Well, yes and no. Depends. I mean,
Okay,
could-
yeah, you could.
you know, I guess there's exceptions, but
I'm just thinking, like, you can relate to people all you want but I mean, that's what comedy is about, is relating to people and, like, making shit funny that everybody, or, a certain few go through and, like, can relate to. And I think that that's, one of the best parts about comedy. But one of the hardest parts is when, people get really famous and their lives change.
well, imagine trying to date as a comedian, because a lot of times comedians nowadays use personal experiences.
Yeah.
A lot of them use their dating experiences. So if you are a comedian, I think people are are very reluctant to want to date you, because
Oh my God,
No.
yeah.
which would suck. But also at the same time, here we are talking about dating stories and using our own. So now we kind of fuck ourselves in that.
Yeah, we totally do.
Well,
but
unfortunately, I mean, you have a boyfriend.
but
currently, so
we're
you're good.
not famous.
Oh yeah, for sure. Not at all.
Luckily, we're from Cincy, which is apparently, I feel like, in the world, or not, maybe not the world view, but the national view. Excuse me. Is coming up.
Nice.
No, okay, it's okay. First of all, I know that maybe we don't believe in horoscopes here, and that's fine, but it's always fun to, like, just humor them a little bit.
Sure.
And so my horoscope, my sign is a Scorpio. And just so everyone knows, Josh is a Gemini, and Curtis, who's unfortunately not with us tonight, is a Capricorn. Yeah, don't talk to him about it. But
I was gonna say, don't talk to me about being a Gemini, because I'm the worst of the zodiacs.
no, yeah. No, but Curtis just gets all, like, upset, like, about Zodiac in general.
Sure, whatever.
Whatever.
Anyways.
He hates it. Anyway, but so this has nothing to do with it being real or not, but I just thought this was hilarious. So, I literally read an article. Well, no, okay, a friend sent me an article that I had to read. And it was saying, like, what city is your sign meant to vacation at? Okay? I've been born and raised in Cincinnati. All right, Clifton, the best part of Cincinnati, I think, because it's by the, by all the hospitals, by the university. It's full of life, full of love, full of everything. It's like the
5
liberal
minutes from
part of
downtown.
town. Yeah, it's really close to downtown. Downtown's like been picking it up, like being like the new fun fucking spot. Anyway, all right, Cincinnati. So, who remembers what sign I was? Oh, fuck, I fucked it up already. Scorpio. And guess what Scorpio got paired with? Yeah, you already guessed it because I fucked it up. Cincinnati. Scorpio got paired with Cincinnati. Like, what is like? Cincinnati is like not even a big city, but apparently it's like, apparently. Okay, this is what it said. This is what it said, and this is what makes me love, Cincinnati. It was like, it's got that dark, undercover, underground dive bars. I was like, what underground? I mean, we have some like cool dive bars, but like,
I mean, I could chime in on this. So
chime
I used to travel the country a lot back in the day, and I've been to a lot of the major cities and some not major cities, and I can tell you when it comes to things for a city to offer, Cincinnati has a fucking ton to offer compared to other cities. One of those is the amount of bars. Here in Cincinnati, we literally have a bar on almost every fucking corner, and not just downtown, but all of the surrounding towns have ton of bars on almost every corner. A lot of cities don't have that, or surrounding towns don't have that. So one of those things that's talking about, you have some cool underground dive bars because we have a fucking ton of dive bars that have their own small communities to different things.
And I love that. No, but the second part about this statement that I totally forgot until now was was like, basically the whole statement was like, you're gonna go to super cool underground bars, and also there's tons of drugs. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, yeah, of course Cincinnati's got that.
Yeah. What was Gemini's?
Gemini's? Oh my God! See, I don't even know.
I'd expect it to be LA because it to be two people all the time.
Right? No, it's gotta be. No, it's gotta be. No, see, I can't even remember. I didn't even like.
Let's see if we can find out. Keep talking.
Look it up. No, but honestly, I was just shocked that Cincinnati even came up as one of the cities, because, I mean, for us Cincinnatians, I guess it's, from here, it's felt like a kind of nothing city for so long, but it's become kind of a big thing in the past, I don't know, 10 years. Like, I mean, through some kind of not great, not great means, I guess, through
this
gentrification.
Website says Gemini should go to Sweden, and I'm with that.
Oh my God. Okay, shut up, Josh. I literally, everybody, spoiler alert, Midsummer, SOM. I watched it last night. Okay, this isn't okay. Honestly, it's not gonna be a spoiler. I'm just gonna tell you I really liked it, but it's in Sweden, so that's basically my spoiler. I saw it without seeing any trailers because that's the way I
don't know what you're talking about.
It's a movie and it's in theaters now, and it's by the same guy who did Hereditary.
Ooh, okay. I'm with it.
Better, bro.
No,
it's called Midsummer. Midsommer.
Okay.
It's a Swedish. It's supposed to be. It's set in Sweden, but it's fucked up. That's why I thought about it.
Is it a horror film?
It's not so horror as much like thriller, psychological horror.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
like
it's still horror.
No, it's definitely still horror, but it's like the next level of horror because that's like what we've kind of developed into because of our generation. Is just fucks it all.
Here's another question when it comes to social stigmas.
Let's talk about it.
You take someone out on a date to the movie. Generally, it's a horror movie. Why? What is with horror movies and the dating social stigma? I mean, I love horror movies.
Or what?
Still, it's then and now.
Interesting. Well, I guess, I mean, the whole thing, I mean, what I've always, as a woman, what I've always thought is that you take a girl to a horror movie and that's when she, cuddles up. Right? Like, am I wrong?
Maybe that's correct.
She's like, she gets all like
she's
scared
terrifying.
and she wants to like.
What if the dude's terrified?
Get cozy.
I have a lot of guy friends who refuse to ever see horror films because they're they will
They're
tell me
so
like, oh no,
scared.
like I get scared easy. I'm not watching this fucking movie.
Oh my gosh. I love that though. No, but see, I mean, I don't get super scared. I get scared, but I don't want to. I just want like something to grab, like a hand, an arm, a boob, like
A
from my
penis.
mom when I was a baby. You know, like that was me. Like I was to grab something when I was scared. Maybe I shouldn't have opened up to that point, but
Whatever.
either way, that's where it comes from in the root of all my feelings, is like the safety. Is like grab something that is warm and home.
Yeah.
But I don't know. With horror movies now, like
Speaking of horror movies, I saw they're remaking Jacob's Ladder.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No way.
Which I think the original Jacob's Ladder is a fucking masterpiece.
I saw you know they're doing It too?
I still haven't seen the newest.
I saw
remake.
no, you haven't seen the newest It?
I haven't
I
seen
haven't
the newest
either,
remake.
but I saw the It 2
Trailer.
and I was like, oh, had no idea it was it until the very last second. And I was like, holy fuck, the first It must have been amazing.
I heard really good things about it.
I did too, and
I
I'm
just
like,
really
I
suck
have
at
to
seeing
see it.
movies in a
Yeah,
timely
no, I
fashion.
have to see it. No, I know, but where do you see it? Like Amazon, or right? Or something else has to have it.
Somewhere's got it.
But okay, what I had started recently as a horror movie was I started Scream, the original from 1990, whatever,
Nice.
with Drew
Good
Barrymore, baby girl. She gets killed in the beginning. Everyone, that's not even a spoiler. It's like I haven't finished the movie. That's the problem.
It was,
I watched like the first
John
half.
Carpenter, wasn't it? The first Scream? Is that right? Was that a John
You know,
Carpenter film?
I think you're right. No, I think you're right. I think you're right.
The first Scream was great.
Yeah.
I
No, it was
couldn't tell you about the other Screams. They literally I do not remember them at all.
No, the only reason why I know that first Scream was because, or anything about it, was because it was my first year. This is so fucking weird. I did swim team every summer because I like sports, but not like too much. So I only did summer swim team, but I was like really good. Not trying to blow myself up, but I really liked swimming, and I did really good while I was young. I didn't go far. I literally stopped at like 12. I was like, okay, I've peaked. It's over. Let's just get it over with. But anyway, while I was really young, I was like 10 or something. This was when Scream had come out, and our theme for the A finals. So A finals basically is like the big tournament for our Cincinnati swimmers in the summertime, who are like the good swimmers. There's B finals, and they're for the swimmers who just weren't, they're good, but just not as good. And they just separate them as should be. But either way, this was the A finals, and literally our theme was Scream. So we always had to have a theme to dress up, so that we would every team had a theme, some crazy costume that all the team would dress up in. It's like some weird fucking cult ass summer tradition, but either way, we all did it, and I was too young to even know that this was a movie at this point. And I just remember all those big black Scream masks, and now
they're white.
Well, no, the black hood.
Yeah, the black veil.
The black hood with the white face. Okay, the white face. And I had no idea that movie, and I literally just started watching it. I haven't finished it yet either. So maybe, next podcast I'll have finished it. I promise I'll finish it within this week, and we'll do it next time.
So how far did you get in the movie?
Halfway. I got to the new main character, who we know is, I don't know what else she's been in, that brown haired girl, and we know that her parents got killed by the same guy that she thinks, because he's ha 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 ha, and he already killed Drew Barrymore and her boyfriend, which I thought was a great scene. I miss those really great bloody scenes in the beginning. They were
think about how terrifying it was in time and place, because it was a movie that specifically targeted your landline phone, which is
Yeah.
a dying thing nowadays. Everyone has a cell phone. People don't have
No,
landline
yeah. Think
phones.
about having
But
just.
at the same time, what if someone was calling your cell phone all the time,
No, it'd be terrifying. It'd be
right?
Yeah, no. You'd throw your fucking phone away, but
I
you
think
can't.
the movie still has just as much of an impact now as it did then,
No.
even though the phone industry is entirely different.
Oh, it does. No, it does. But the way that. Uh,
And maybe
Just
it's time
thinking
for a
about
remake
it.
of Scream on your cell phone.
on the cell phone. Right, like no matter how many times you get your phone rechanged, like it finds you.
Yeah.
No, because that shit. But just think about being on a landline. Oh my God, it's one number.
I will say,
Ugh.
as soon as you can, finish that movie
Mhm.
because it's got a great ending. A great
No, I have
ending.
to. I'm going to. I'm on the way. I just got to get in like that zone again, and I'm maybe
So,
when I get home tonight I will
How
be.
how many dates have you gone on that was at a horror film, at a movie,
At a
at the
horror
theaters?
film?
Yeah, like you've gone to see a horror film. Because I can tell you, out of movie dates I've had, they've either been comedies or art movies. I'm
Yeah.
trying to really think. I don't know if I've actually taken a girl or a girl's taken me
Like a first
to
date to a
a
horror film.
movie date that was a horror film. Now I've had plenty of dates at home watching a horror movie, but
Yeah.
like go to the theaters for a horror
Yeah.
film.
I'm trying to think of like a first date or like a first-ish date, like the beginning time date
Mhm.
that was at a horror film. I'm mm, I'm drawing a blank, honestly. I feel like usually I mean, okay. I feel like I think I've had some Netflix and chills that were horror films, but basically it's because my ass is crazy and I'm the one who wants to watch a scary movie, and I'm like, I'd be more comfortable with
Don't
someone.
touch me throughout the movie.
No, but yeah, exactly. But at the same time, like,
Respect.
I can't like be like, this one's too scary for me to watch by myself. Like, I'm glad that you're here. Is that fucked up?
No, it's fine.
Like when you need. Okay, so a couple years ago, I was living in a 3-bedroom, and my first one of my roommates decided that he needed to move to Texas, so he moved out, and so then it was just me and my best friend, and then after a while, she got a really great job in California, which is really fucking far away from Cincinnati, if you look at the map. But she got a great job, and all I can do is support her and love her and do everything I can. But so basically, and she was helping me with the payments and stuff. But basically, I got left in a giant 3-bedroom apartment by my own damn self. Luckily, I had a cat and a little dog. But this little dog is basically
Merlin.
Yeah, she's here tonight, sleeping so soundly in
she
the
looks
bed.
pretty comfy.
No, she's super comfy, but like she's a comfy dog. Like all she wants is cuddling, and that's a huge importance for me. But at the same time, at this point, like watching scary movies, it was a weird thing for me. It was like cathartic, but at the same time, like terrifying. Like I didn't want to do it, but I also needed to do it to know that like I could be there by myself and that it would be okay, and like
Strong, independent.
yeah,
woman.
I'm a strong, independent woman. Yeah.
So, quick question:
Yeah.
have you ever used your dog to pick up guys? Because there's a lot of guys who will take their dogs out to pick up girls.
You are so right. No, honestly.
Have you ever taken Mel out to the bar or to the park and some dude's been like,
I have brought Mel out to the bar for sure, and to the dog park.
Oh, I know.
Okay,
I've been there.
Mel
with
hates the dog park. She hates other dogs. That's the problem. And when I take her to the dog park, it's usually just because I'm with other friends who have dogs.
Well, it's also because when she goes to the bar, people will pet her and then give her food.
Yeah. Okay, but
Which is also why I like going to the bar, so people will pet me and give me food and beer.
No, but Mel has learned from a long time coming now. That when she comes to our local bar that I've been going to since freaking below alcohol age in America, and I know Josh has been going to for like since he's been in like in Cincy itself, you know,
My
right?
whole life.
Yeah, your whole life. Well, I mean, at one point you were like out in the boonies, right?
Yeah, I lived out in the boonies,
Yeah.
but I was still coming to the city.
You still came to Arlen's? Shut up.
I started going to this Arlen's when I was 16.
True.
Long time.
Feel it.
Going to Northside since I was 14.
14?
Yep. Because they really didn't give a shit back in
Yeah.
the day in Northside.
Back in the day, no, Northside used to be really not so good, but it's become great, and it's like I mean
It's up and
awesome.
coming.
There's so much. Yeah, it's like the new Clifton basically. Clifton has become kind of she, and it's kind of like
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean-
I
Well,
I
think
love Clifton.
one-
I'll
one of
never
the-
not love Clifton.
One of the big differences in Clifton now versus back in the day is the University of Cincinnati being right here in Clifton has never been a party university.
yeah,
but
it
it's
never was.
More quickly becoming
it's
a party
becoming that.
university, and I think that's due to all the surrounding entertainment that's coming up in Cincinnati. You know, we have a lot
exactly.
of bar districts now. There's a
are.
lot more things to do, and it's
I know,
just
it's
slowly but surely
crazy.
becoming a fucking party university.
No, it surely is. It's insane.
I mean, there was so a lot of the audience out there might not know, but there was this public Snapchat for university.
oh
called-
my God!
It was called
Bearcat
Snaps. Yeah, and it was a
Oh, I
public.
watched it all the time.
Right, so it was this public Snapchat that went viral across the nation, and it was
Viral.
just the Snapchat
Like
about all the
titties.
parties and crazy shit that was happening around
Mainly
DC.
titties.
And it went everywhere. There was a lot of titties, a few
So
dicks,
many-
but a lot
no,
of titties.
Yeah,
a
some
lot
dicks,
Of titties.
some like full intercourse, but that's what didn't get like. It was mainly the
It
titties.
was actually it was sex maybe 5% of the time.
no.
It was like
Yeah,
titties
no.
90% of the time, intercourse 5.
No,
dicks,
because
it's
dicks-
part of that 5. There was very
yeah.
few that would ever
No,
post on
because it was
outside the
basically like
intercourse.
the guy who ran it was like a guy, and so
Well,
he was
yeah.
like,
He
"I'm
was like,
gonna-"
"Titties."
He was like titties. Yeah, and I mean that's probably like let's think about America. It's
Titties.
mainly even us girls. Even if you're 100% straight, you can appreciate a good rack. Let's be real here.
Yeah,
You
racks are
gotta,
great.
yeah.
Even
I
if
mean,
you're
like,
an ass person, a
Even
great
if you're-
rack is
no,
still a
I mean
great
like I'm
rack.
talking about girls though. Like I mean we can appreciate a good ass, but that makes us a little jealous. But a girl who has a good fucking boat of titties in front of her, she can look at another titties and say, "That's a good one." But she's not gonna look at like a dick and be like, well, okay, maybe not. It would be the other way. It would be like a dude with a regular dick looking at a big dick on Bearcat Snaps and be like,
Well, that's just a dude
he'd
watching
say,
porn.
He'd say, down like that ain't real.
No, that's just dudes watching porn. Because a dude watches porn, and they're like, yeah, that's my dick. Or they wish that was their dick. Or they envision that's their dick.
Yeah, they have to.
That's why porn dick is generally larger than the
Yeah.
average person.
Okay, and this is another thing I wanted to talk about. Well, okay, not really talk about. Maybe we'll get into it later in the podcast cycle. But like, how ugly dudes are in porns.
Well,
They just
yeah.
have a big dick and they're ugly.
Generally, it comes down to who's running that service, which is generally the guy, and it's because they have the money.
Yeah.
Not saying there's a correlation between money
No,
and ugliness.
no,
but-
I know. I agree, but I'm just saying, like, I
'Cause
like gave up on like
I think when it comes to the porn
hot
industry,
dude porn.
I think when it comes to the porn industry,
Yeah.
generally the first thing that's looked for in male actors is just the size of their penis. Secondly is the way they look. And then thirdly is their performance.
thirdly, okay, true.
Well, yeah. So let's think about this. I don't know how much porn
yeah.
you watch, but I watch a fuck ton of porn.
I don't
So-
watch much anymore, but I used to watch a lot.
So, but generally, when it comes to porn, the actress, the female, has to do a lot of the work.
yeah, she has to do
The
all
male
work,
doesn't have to
basically.
perform a whole lot. What really comes down to is that the dude isn't blowing his load too early. So he could film all the scenes, all the needs.
No,
for what
he
they
just
wanna
has to.
film.
He has to keep his dick hard.
And most of the time, pornography is POV on the girl, or at least camera centralized on the girl's action. So you're not really looking at the dude; you're just kind of looking at his crotch being serviced.
yeah, of course.
So unfortunately, the last thing I think when it comes to male actors is their performance.
Thinking about
Firstly, size of their penis. Secondly, is the way they look. And then
I know, but
thirdly
I'm
is
just
their
thinking like there's
performance.
definitely like a section of women out there, and like, if we get enough ladies to listen to this podcast, like, please give me a shout out. But like, we want more porn that is female centric. Like, we don't want this like expensive ass like. This is just for you ladies. Like, I've seen that shit, and
Well, I
that's not
think,
cute. Like, we can do like, if dudes can have free porn all the time, we should get at least like one site of free porn of like dudes fucking sunbit. Like, I don't know.
I think currently that
wrong.
industry is growing. It's just still so small where they're not the predominant content creator.
You're
like the
probably
content's
right,
out
I
there,
don't
they're
know.
just not ruling the content.
Yeah, they're
war.
not. They're not getting.
And I think
Yeah,
it's
they're
an
not
up and growing.
big enough yet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an up and growing trend, and I hope it continues to grow.
No, yeah,
for
I
sure.
really, I hope so too, because I feel like there's. I mean, I know I'm not the only fucking lady out there. Like, I swear, I know I'm not.
Absolutely not.
You know.
I
But-
think having that discussion with most of my female friends, I think I have more female friends that watch pornography on a consistent or a more consistent basis than most of my male friends. For whatever the reason may be, I'm not sure.
When when I first started watching porn, this is a super secret, everyone on this podcast. If we get big, you guys are really special because we may delete this part of it.
We're not. So speak at your own
Shut up,
risk.
Josh. Maybe we will delete it for the
Okay, well,
future
I'm all
1,000.
about telling embarrassing stories about myself.
know, but I'm
so
telling
you
you,
tell an
this is
embarrassing story, I'll tell an embarrassing story.
Okay, well, shush. I'm getting ready. Before I knew that I was like gay, bisexual, or anything. This is so. Before I knew that I liked women's pussies and dick from dudes, you know what I like to watch on porn? Because I'm a Scorpio and I like sex. Because there's no hot dudes on fucking hetero sex. I watched not dude sex, but gay makeouts. Two super hot dudes making out. It's really hot. It's super hot. And then you like flash forward to a different screen that's like no faces and just like,
Genitalia.
yeah, dick in the pussy, like, yeah.
You're not the first female to say that to me, at least.
I feel like the only one because no one talks about this stuff.
You're right. There's not a lot of people that talk about it.
Nobody
And
talks
so
about it.
there's actually a guy, I won't name, but he was very public about this, where in a discussion about pornography, he is heterosexual. He has no interest in men. But he said he absolutely will watch gay men in a pornography if it's very exciting, like they're very into each other. It's very, what you would say hot, because
there's something about that attraction.
Well, what he stated was like, I just like the idea of sex and people into each other.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, whether it's man and man or girl and girl, the connection seems to be a lot more intense.
Yeah.
And so that feeling that he gets from watching, whether it's gay guys or gay girls,
Yeah.
is just much more intense than watching just heterosexual porn.
Yeah,
in general.
no,
Even though he has no interest in men, but he'll totally watch two dudes go at it because
That guy,
it's intense.
no, he has some serious
Big dick energy, to talk about.
big dick energy. No, he's got some. He can just feel it, like, and I feel the same way. Like he's got that. He's just like that, and like he can just suck on that energy and really feel it. Sorry, I just realized that my microphone was
You keep hitting
towards my
the stand and it falls down.
titties. Yeah, no, I keep on hitting it because I'm excited and moving my feet around.
It's okay.
But anyway, that's awesome. And I think that guy's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And you just got to do what you're going to do and just follow your body.
Yeah. I mean, sex is sex. If it turns you on, awesome. So I will go to one more topic before we come to the end.
Next topic.
So here it comes to, this happened to me for yesterday, actually.
Oh, yes. The yesterday
So,
topic.
I had a girl that planned a date with me
Oh, God.
yesterday.
Okay, tell me about this. Okay, let's just preface. Josh has not told me about this yet. He told me, like, previously that this is something that happened, but he didn't really give me any details. So this is, like, literally 100% me being super real. So
Well, this
I'm
goes
really
back
ready.
to the second episode with Curtis and I, where he said
Oh,
the
yeah,
same
yeah,
thing. 'Cause
yeah,
unless you ask about it, I'm not going to talk about it. But anyways, here we are.
Wait.
So
Okay, yeah. I remember
this
that.
girl, we had a previous one-night stand years ago.
Okay. How many years? Like 1 to 5?
That's a good question. 2, maybe.
2. Okay.
2 years ago.
Okay. So more than 1 year. So 2
Yeah.
to 5. Yeah. Okay. Good.
So this girl reconnected with me recently, and
Through Instagram.
It was through a social, media,
Some social,
Facebook,
Facebook,
Yeah.
say, yeah. Oh my.
So she reconnected with me, and then we started talking, and she brought up the idea of going on a date, and I was like, yeah, I'll go on a date.
Okay.
So she set a date for yesterday, right?
Yes.
So
The day that was before today.
the day that was before today.
Ugh.
So we come to it. I didn't really have any plans set because I was going to do this date, and we had talked about just going out to do a few things, and then ending from there.
Right, I
we
mean,
didn't.
why would you plan any other things when you had a
Well,
date?
because our last meeting was
no,
a
you're
one-night
right.
stand,
Well,
and,
yeah, okay.
and
So
we
you never
both
know.
were trying to agree to not do that. We would just do a date.
Of course. But like at the same time, like, no, you would never. Yeah, you're always thinking about it as a
Well, of
fresh,
course.
a fresh start. You would
I mean,
never
I may
want-
not intend to have a one-night stand, but I'm never going to turn it down.
Yeah, of course.
But
and
it's
you're always
also-
gonna make it start.
I should say, it may not be in my intention for it to be a one-night stand. but
Exactly.
sex in the first
Sometimes
date,
it
totally not
happens.
against.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
And it's
But in any case.
not the bad.
So,
Anyway, so we're back to
so
this.
we go. We set a time.
Set
So
a time, date,
I'm
which
waiting-
was yesterday.
Yeah. So I'm waiting to hear from her. It's ready to go. Never hear from her.
How?
So-
Wait, never. How
Yep.
long? 10
The whole
minutes?
day. No, the whole day.
Whole day.
I wait the whole day because she was saying.
What time was your date supposed to be happening?
After 1 p.m. because she
Okay,
was
after
here in the
1.
area, and she said she was going to let me know when she was ready, and I had texted her earlier like, okay, just touch and base, let me know. Never hear from her. So I spent my whole day here, which is fine because I made do. I played a video game I really enjoyed the whole fucking day.
Yeah, and
But so I don't hear from her till the day after, which is today, this morning.
today. Oh my god! Wait. So all.
Because, yeah. So
So
when
basically she left you hanging when she said she was gonna talk to you and do something yesterday at what, 3 or
sometime after 1.
sometime
It was
after 1.
probably gonna be around 2
one
or
time
3,
after 1 or sometime after 1, and then you didn't get anything back, and then it was still today.
Well, yeah, because I
When?
had texted her, didn't hear anything from her. So then last night before I went to bed, I just sent her a message saying like, I guess you were busy. Just let me know.
Okay, that's actually really nice.
So-
And that's a sweet thing
Well,
to say.
the thing is, things happen, and for me, who happens to manage people, shit happens.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
The thing is, I
It's
don't
true.
think if you
You're-
have to cancel plans or a date or whatever it may be, I don't think necessarily you have to give a reason. just
Yeah.
let the person or group know that you
Yeah.
can't make it. Because that, for
Yeah.
me,
No,
I put
agreed.
my whole day priority
No,
for this person.
Agreed. And if she could give you, or if she does, I mean, I honestly, I have no idea. If she does give you a good answer, then like maybe it's you
But
know,
the
you did the
answer
right thing.
doesn't have to be any better than I can't do it.
No, I know, but like, I don't know. If you had it, like, if it was something like, oh, it's just hard to even like ever compare anything. But like, what if it's like, like my fucking parents are dying, or like,
Well, 'cause
like of course,
the-
like I'm just thinking of like the worst thing like could.
The reason is irrelevant. Whether it's really bad or really good,
Yeah.
it's irrelevant. The point I'm trying to make is, regardless, all you have to say is I can't make it.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Just
yeah,
to respect that
no,
person's
no,
time.
You're right. No,
who's
you're
trying to
right.
respect
no,
your
to
time
say
and
it,
wait.
No, to say it at the time that it happens. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
The
I
reason,
agree,
100%
I agree.
irrelevant.
No,
Doesn't
agree,
matter.
I agree.
All that matters is you just let them know I can't make it. So then that person
no, you're
can go
right.
about
Yeah.
their day.
So yeah, be like, hey, sorry, can't make it. I'll tell. Like, hey, sorry, can't make it. I will. Or you don't have to say anything. Like, hey, sorry. Tell you later.
Yeah.
Talk
so,
to you later.
Anyways, we'll continue with the story. So before I went to bed, I had said, I guess you were busy. Just,
Yeah.
let me know.
Of
So
course.
coming into this morning, I wake up for the text, and it's this book of explanation.
Oh no.
Which doesn't necessarily need. But anyways, what she had said was, well, the last time we had hung out, it was a one-night stand, and I felt really bad afterwards because I really liked you. I wanted something more, and that's all it ended up being. And so I didn't want the same thing to happen for tonight. I didn't want, that night to go out where we do our thing and then go back to mine or your places, and it's a one-night stand, and then I don't hear from you again, or whatever that case may be,
Huh.
So, which I can understand. It's a logical
Yeah.
thought process.
That's what she's
Which is
thinking, yeah.
something that you should have the conversation with the individual.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
we kind of had prior discussion that we were going to treat this as a date. We were just going to do a
Yeah.
date. We were going to refrain from.
She just couldn't do it in person.
Comes back to previous conversation. People have issues with confrontation. And she even admitted, like, I should have told you yesterday, and I'm sorry for it. She didn't have the strength to tell me to the day after. But the point of this story.
That sucks. That
So
sucks.
the point of this story is to ask that question is, if you're in the same situation, would you be upfront with the person like, I can't do this, whether you give a reason or not? Can you tell someone that I can't move forward with this date, whether you have a reason or not? Because I think generally people feel like they have to have a reason, which is why I think the base comes to why a lot of people get ghosted, because they
don't
feel
have
like they
anything.
have to give a reason why they're not following through,
Yeah.
and they're not ready to have the confrontation to follow through, despite what may come out of that conversation. So they just choose to not respond, to not deal with the
No, yeah,
the outcome.
It's the I mean, the millennial problem maybe, because we've all at this at this generation really realized that we can just text it and it'll be the same. Okay, I have quotation marks up in my fingers.
She's got fingers.
Fingers with, like, it's so hard, and it's been hard for a person like me personally, because I'm a more introverted person, honestly, and like it's hard for me to talk to people about stuff until I feel really comfortable. And so, like, I mean, me and Josh, like, it happened very early because I know that I could trust Josh, and like,
well, our first
we
meeting
aren't
was
from-
we immediately opened ourselves up to each other.
Yeah.
Like, I just gave you my heart
Yeah.
immediately about who I was.
yeah.
So
And we and social media wasn't even as much then. Just saying, like, 4 years ago, it wasn't as much like a part of your identity, at least. Like it was still
I don't know
something that
about
was
that.
something, but it wasn't like everything you were.
I think I don't think that's necessarily true,
You think?
but I think the frequency of dating apps wasn't quite in its peak
Yeah,
yet. Like
okay,
it was
no,
just
that's for
starting.
sure.
I mean,
Well, I mean,
dating
and all
online
of
has
it,
been a
yeah.
thing since the mid '90s, but I
forever,
think
yeah.
as it being socially acceptable
Yeah.
and being very frequent, I think it was just starting then.
No, it was starting out like, yeah, for sure. Like past
Yeah, this last 4 or 5
the
years.
last 5 years. Yeah, literally like the last 5 years. But no, I know. I mean, I don't know. Me and Josh, we met at the bar. I
I had just started managing
He
the
had
bar.
just started managing the bar. I knew
it was
the
also
old manager, but
just after a breakup of a girl I was with for 5 years.
yeah, and I didn't know this at the time, and I knew the old manager of the bar, and he was not at like I mean, he was a great manager, I guess, but he was just not very he didn't
Chatty.
talk to anybody.
Yeah.
He didn't talk to anybody at the bar, and so like he didn't really like give a good vibe for the bar. And so then when there was like this new manager, I didn't even know he was the manager. I thought that Jesse was still the manager, but he wasn't. And I was like, who is this new manager? But it turned out to be Josh. And Curtis had already been working there for
Yeah.
a hot minute.
You remember how the conversation started the first time?
I don't remember exactly. I just know it got really dark and deep really quick.
It's because I was going through a breakup at the time.
That was when you had first broken up with her? Or like when you guys
It was
had
it was a week after.
Shut the fuck up.
The day after she left me was the day I found out I was taking over the bar. So I had a 1 week disparity there, or whatever the word is, and it was moved.
Yeah, in between.
Yeah. So then I was moved to it, and
Holy fucking shit, for real?
hmm and so I was real depressed, and the first thing you said was, "You look really sad. You want to talk about it?" And for me, being very open to people who ask questions,
No, yeah, you
we
did
just
look
talked about
sad.
it. And we just talked about it for a while.
No, and we talked about it for a minute. Like, we talked about it for like 3 hours or some shit.
It was a long time, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was really sad too.
Yeah, you were.
I'd come back from New York out of a bad relationship and realized kind of what I needed to do, which was like all about what I needed to do. Basically, like I needed to focus on me and not what I was focusing on, which was my previous relationship and partner in that relationship. And it was very unhealthy for me when I was there, but I mean I have the best family, and then I came home, and I mean I feel like I just got blessed with the next best family. Like I already have a great biological family, but then like I've had the best friends. Like I've had the best friends. I mean, I've always had, well, not always, but I've had since high school my best friend Paloma. And then I've gotten I reached out and I found Josh, who like was a total, we had no idea we were going to become such good friends, but it just happened. And I feel so lucky to have these folks and like who they've brought into my life. Like both, like Paloma has brought me a few other, like, like very, very close friend to me, like Henry, and Josh knows Henry. And like, I mean, it's just a family, and it's just so great to know that
friends are
we
important.
can do that. Friends are
I for
so
sure
important.
wouldn't be anywhere in my life without my friends.
Yeah.
Not to talk shit about any of my family, but my friends have really helped me a lot,
No, yeah,
physically,
my
emotionally.
family, I mean,
you know.
without my family,
Oh, she's dropping her mic.
My mic just dropped. But without my family, I wouldn't be who I was today at all. But I'm so, so grateful always for the
Yeah.
friends that I have and that I can pull to and pull on for situations where you need a different perspective, and maybe that's why it's good to have like a good variety of friends
It's true.
to keep you really grounded.
So let's tie this up with bringing 2 points we talked about together. So
Yeah.
the one of where I had talked about getting ghosted,
Yeah.
and that's I think one of the reasons, or one of the biggest reasons why people ghost people is because they feel this need
No,
to
yeah.
give an answer to why they didn't do or follow through, whatever it
Yeah,
may be,
what-
and they
what
can't
did
do
they
it, so
not
they just
do?
don't
Yeah.
respond.
Yeah.
So then, to the previous where you said you would also ghost people for some reasons, do those connect?
No, thinking about ghosting people, like, I mean, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. But honestly, like, it's not the biggest thing I can say, and it's what I try to say to myself when I get ghosted. When yeah, everybody gets fucking ghosted and it sucks, asshole. Nobody likes it. But when I get it and I'm just trying to, like, put myself in that person's shoes, all I have to think is, like, they're just not ready. This isn't it.
For sure.
What I'm doing isn't what they want.
The thing
what
is,
they're doing, like, it's just not a match. It just can't.
yeah, no
be
matter what happens,
compatible.
if someone's ghosting you, it's not going to work.
No, I know, but I'm just thinking,
That's
like,
always the end result.
but the other part is just like there's no compatibility in, I don't know, hobbies or anything. Like, it just maybe, like, there's something that isn't there, and maybe maybe as someone who's, like, very eager to find someone isn't gonna see it, but it's always, like, it's good to accept those rejections because they aren't for you. You, like, everybody deserves, like, a great fucking person, and they will find them.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, but you gotta fucking, if you don't want to go rock climbing on the weekends, then don't. If you do, then say yeah. But, like, that's another thing that I think is annoying because I can't be, like, a liar. But I feel like some people are via like social
Well, it
media
goes back to the
dating
previous
apps.
topic where in social media you can be your best you, which is
Yeah,
not necessarily
it's
you.
like yeah, like I wanna go, like rock climbing, like, for sure.
Like, I don't know if you listened to our second episode where you were absent.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was
watched
talking about
some
one of those
that, yeah.
dates that I went on where in text it was always fantastic.
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
always
yeah.
continuing a conversation. But then when we went on our date, it was
Oh,
such
yeah,
a
no, the
disconnect
one
for
who
me.
was, like,
It was like
yeah.
an entirely different human being. It was like there was someone completely
Yeah.
foreign that I never talked to, that I have no...
Right, there's nothing even.
Yeah, there's no connection. There's no similarity.
No, yeah. I know. What's, like, I mean, you have to be honest. You have to be, I mean, especially with those type of dates. I mean, okay, one tiny story. I was super into this guy. I did, like, a modeling shoot for his t-shirt line. And I thought he was super cute, but he already had kids, but he was divorced or whatever. Like, he had been married and divorced, he has kids, whatever, like, la la la. I thought he was super cute. I did his t-shirt line and I was just, like, so about it. And I, like, nothing ever came from that, but I did my, I forgot what we were talking about. What were we talking about again? No, I forgot like what the point was in the story. No, but like, no,
Honesty, being honest.
honest. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, so I was super cute.
The
Oh my God.
honesty is that he was super cute.
Embarrassed. No, I was cute in this. Okay, in this shoot, and I was like trying to be cute towards him because like he was like the director. Okay, whatever. Blah blah blah. Things go by. I message him and I say, hey, like I thought you were cute. I know you're like a dad, but like I'm still like into you. And then he messaged me like wait like later like oh cool yeah or something, and I was like okay, like waiting for something next.
Yeah.
And the next thing he sent to me was like, you want to like go rock climbing with me? And I just had I mean I said no. I didn't know.
Really?
No, like,
I'd have been like, fuck
no.
yeah, let's
I
go
was
rock
like,
climbing.
no, I don't know you enough. Like, I literally just did a modeling shoot for you. I barely know you. I just thought you were cute. Like, you're gonna bring me on a modeling shoot? Like, or, I mean, on a, no, okay. Bring me on a modeling shoot. Then you're gonna bring me on a fucking rock climbing adventure? That's, okay, no. No, like, he thinks that I'm like some special ass, like, you know.
Why is rock climbing a no?
Because, okay, listen. He's seen, okay, just because of our previous situations, he's only seen me in a modeling situation.
A professional manner.
Where I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, all cute, ready, makeup done,
So let me
everything's
ask you
ready.
this:
He's
if he
doing
asked
my,
you
he
to
was, it was his clothes that I was modeling.
sure, but if he asked you a date on dinner,
If he asked me for a different date, then we would have gone out.
like
yeah.
if you would ask you to dinner, you would have said yes.
I would have said yes. Yeah.
But why? What is the disconnect between dinner and rock dating?
I couldn't
rock
do
climbing,
I
I'm sorry.
couldn't do rock climbing. I just didn't feel ready there. I wasn't ready to
That felt like a more
that yeah for my body and how I feel about my body. I guess I wasn't ready to be with somebody on a first date in that aspect. Yeah.
okay.
I just
Obviously, I
wasn't
mean,
ready.
like rock climbing's like a very
no rock climbing. I would love to do it someday, but like
specific date that is more than a
like-
generalized date. So if someone asked me to rock climbing for our first date, I'd have been like, fuck yeah, let's go do it.
I wasn't. No, I didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to do it. I've rock climbed as a kid, and I
I've
was
never been rock
amazing,
climbing.
and
I'd
I
be
was
terrible. I'm
was
fat
so
and out of shape. I'd fall at 3 feet.
no. What's annoying is like I was so good at
Break my
that
leg.
birthday party when I was like 8 years old. I beat everybody else, and that's why I'm like, oh my god! Like if I ever rock climb again, I'm just gonna embarrass myself. I have to at least get where I got when I was 8 years old. Wait, it wasn't 8. What year was it? 10. 10. No, it was at the one of those Cincinnati like it was like place at a roller rink, like
Western Rollerama,
I don't know.
which unfortunately just
Either
closed
way,
down.
I think all of those ones are at the same height. So if I could do it now, then I can beat my old
record.
Yeah.
Sure. No, I've never been
Basically,
rock climbing.
record. Wink, wink. Like it's
Yeah.
not really a record.
I find that interesting. That so you said no to the rock climbing
I couldn't
based
do it.
on your
Yeah,
physical
I
condition
couldn't-
and
I
not the
couldn't-
person,
No, yeah, I really, really, really liked that guy, but I couldn't
and
do
you
it.
felt
I
like you
couldn't-
were inadequate physically
Yeah.
to perform that
Yeah,
date.
I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. I just couldn't. I couldn't. I didn't want to embarrass myself. I guess I just felt like
Oh,
if
shit,
I
I'm
if
all about
I
embarrassing myself. That's
I
half
know.
my life.
just saw myself being. I couldn't. Yeah, I don't know. I had the
So
vision. I couldn't do it.
earlier you gave a story that you kind of considered embarrassing yourself.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll give mine.
Okay.
Kind of following this conversation.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I wasn't asked to a date, but so let me tell you the story of Boner Kid. I don't know if I've
Boner
ever
camp
to-
or
Boner Kid. I don't know if I've ever told you this
Kid.
story.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
me. I'm Boner Kid in this
You're
story.
Boner Kid. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So I grew up rather poor. You know, we didn't have access
You
to new
lived in,
clothes all
like,
the time.
The middle of
But-
nowhere.
So a lot of my clothes were hand-me-downs, whether it was from my older brother or father, grandfather, you know. So I wore a lot of very large T-shirts and sweatpants. In fact, as a child, I fucking hated jeans and always wore sweatpants. But me,
I feel it.
being me, who I would consider very sexually active from a very early age, I
Mhm.
was popping erections way early, like 4 or 5 years olds, for sure.
Oh!
Like,
4
and being into
years
it.
old,
Yep.
motherfucker!
So here, imagine this kid in grade school with sweatpants in community
Bro,
style
with
seating.
sweatpants. Oh my god.
Oh
shut
yeah,
up.
just showing himself, not intentionally.
You didn't know though. Did
Oh
you
well, I
know?
knew. I was like,
Well,
oh
you knew.
shit, it's happening, and
You
I didn't
didn't,
know
like,
how to
put your
stop it.
hand on
Well, I
it?
was young. I didn't know how to hide it then.
Yeah, I
It's
get
like, oh
it.
well, I'm in sweatpants. Here it is.
Oh.
And so I was boner kid from
Boner
kindergarten.
kid from kindergarten. Kindergarten?
All the way through
Four.
most of middle school.
Oh
I
my
was
God,
this reject of a
Josh.
kid because I was boner kid until I started wearing jeans. Actually, what was funny was middle school, when a lot of the other classmates I had started becoming sexually active or mature, would ask me questions.
What, 7th and 8th
Just
grade?
anything.
Middle? No, I mean middle school. Like
yeah,
7th
somewhere
and 8th
between
grade?
7th and 9th grade.
7th
somewhere
and
around
8th
there.
grade,
You know, just any type of generic question, because
About,
I
like-
was having erections as an early child, so I must know.
So you must know,
apparently,
yeah, of course.
Let
You
alone
know
at the time,
how-
like I never kissed a girl, and I was like,
Ah.
oh, I was boner kid.
But did you had an erection at that point? Or
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, no,
probably.
no,
I was having
had
an erection
it.
while they were talking to
No,
me.
I mean had an ejaculation. I guess was what I was.
Oh, yeah. I think I had my first orgasm when I was 9.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I
Sure.
I was masturbating much earlier than that, but didn't
Yeah.
experience my first orgasm until I was
Right,
9.
but I mean, it takes a while till you can actually. Yeah, your body doesn't even know ready yet.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. It's not ready. I don't know.
But yeah, there you go. So, story of boner kid.
No,
You know?
boner kid.
Yeah.
No.
Then in high school, I started wearing jeans, and it was concealed.
And then it was all.
It's more restrictive.
No, I mean, I have a story for myself and I feel like many other folk ladies. Not folk ladies, but ladies. This
Or
is
folk ladies.
the folk lore that I am recorrecting tonight. Well, I mean, it depends. But all ladies have their own, you know,
Keep talking.
vaginal not rejuvenation, but like their vaginal awakening at some point. And it depends. And it depends on your biology, your genetics, and also on your environment, like your family and your friends, and what kind of brings you into that zone, I guess. And for me, like, I don't even know. It's a crazy story. If people like get into this podcast, I'll tell you more about my personal story. But just to keep the fucking licks out there, I'm gonna say that no. Having your first period is never easy. And especially like if you have your first period and people think that, like, just like how Josh was talking about, like if you have your period but you don't even know about being sexual.
Well, yeah, your first period's pretty terrifying. You're like, why am I bleeding?
I know.
What
Well,
the
I
fuck's
didn't.
happening?
I was just giving them like a hinty hint. I was saying like my first period story is kind of dramatic, so I'm like maybe like in 2 podcasts they'll figure like I'll give them a full. No, it's really dramatic.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
Yeah, but so I was just saying like, but either way, any first time in intercourse is gonna be super huge.
Oh, yeah.
In even first time like masturbation, what's interesting about me and Josh, and kind of gives us like a joint message to tell, is that we both kind of realized our sexuality early. I don't know if I realized that it was sexual for years, but I really knew that, masturbation was a good thing, but I knew that it was a secret. And I don't know how I knew that, but it was just like a social norm that I had learned. Like I knew it was like things about down there you don't talk about, but I had found something and I was like, this is a secret treasure that I will never ever expose
I
to
had this
anyone.
even at the early age of like 4 or 5, when I was getting erections. Like I knew it was sexual. I knew that this was some feeling I was supposed to share with somebody. But here's what's also funny. Another embarrassing story
Oh my
was
god, you knew you were supposed to
I
show.
yeah I knew at that early age, that
What
was
age? 5?
no, like 4 or 5, yeah,
4, okay.
that I was supposed to be sharing that with somebody. And I don't know necessarily how I knew that. Maybe I saw my parents have sex. Maybe I saw a movie.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I don't have a memory of how I knew.
Oh.
But here's what was funny. It wasn't until I was in first grade that I realized women didn't have penises. I thought every human had a penis because it was the only thing I knew.
No, yeah, no. So you thought? Wait, how did you think sex happened?
Oh, I had not a fucking clue how it worked out. I was
No,
just
okay.
like, this is something strange and weird, and I
No.
hope. And I kept
Oh
telling
my
myself, like, I
God.
hope I don't have to enjoy doing this, because having to deal with another penis made no sense to me.
Oh my god. Well, that's why you know you're
Which, when I was an
straight.
early teenager and I was experimenting with men, it was another tell,
Yeah.
like, this isn't me.
No. Okay. When I was young and baby, I thought that the baby that you were pregnant with pooped out your butt.
Well, so
I
I
really
knew
thought that the butthole was where the baby came.
I
But
knew
then I found
how
out.
babies were conceived. I just didn't know the act in which it was done.
No, yeah, I. Okay, yeah, we all say that. You must just have known like more specifically because I knew that it wasn't
Yeah, but
like
at that early age, I
through
was thinking
the
that as
through the
women, they were taking the
butt.
baby out the penis.
You thought they were pulling
Well,
it
yeah.
out of their own
Oh,
penis?
yeah.
No, okay. See, I was like, there's something different. Like, I know it's not like poop, and it's not like I know that because I hadn't seen my dad's pee pee, but my sister had, because she was older, 4 years older, and she like
My dad
accidentally saw
religiously
it.
walked around naked.
She accidentally saw it, and then she just knew.
I
And
would
then,
have friends over as an early child, and he would just didn't give a shit. and my earliest best friend was a girl, so that was the first penis she was exposed to, was my dad, because he just didn't give a shit.
That's funny.
He just walked from his bedroom to the bathroom, no clothes.
Interesting. Interesting.
No.
Where's that friend now?
She's with a guy. I'm not sure if she's married or not. She's got a kid with
In Cincy?
Greater Cincia, somewhere in Mason, Westchester, or something like that.
Ugh. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, so as I was saying, I was
You was.
doing something. And the real problem right now is that I have to pee
Go
so
pee.
bad. Okay.
Go pee.
I'm gonna go pee.
There's a restroom right behind you.
Yeah.
I can
I'm
talk
gonna
and
do
entertain
it.
the podcast.
Yeah, and I turn my
So, if you would like to share some crazy, embarrassing story, you could email us. You could DM us on any of our social websites. We have gotten several messages for stories to share, but we will wait till all three of us are present, because there are some pretty good ones to talk about. And I do appreciate the audience and sharing those stories, and hope that you guys continue to share. We will continue to do so as well. I have a couple things planned for next podcast, as I'm sure Curtis does, and Olivia probably does as well. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing better than having finding the humor in some embarrassing stories, which I will always tell. And if you find the same humor in your embarrassing stories, share it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about how awkward it is for everyone around you, as I'm sure all of you are thinking about our embarrassing stories. Outside of that, coming up for next week's podcast, we should be back in the studio. We will have a longer podcast than usual because I know Curtis and I are preparing some content. Currently, our schedule is that we were recording podcasts on Sundays, and I'm uploading them on Monday. And I think for the near future, that's going to be our schedule. So, yeah, look forward to every Monday early morning for new content. And Olivia rejoins us.
I will.
So continuing your subject manner.
Sorry, I just saw Merlin, my little baby girl, the little baby Melon. Oh, how cute she is. Oh, her
She's a
little
happy
tail
dog.
is wagging. Oh, look at that little tail. Look at that little tail. Okay, wait, Josh, remind me what I was talking about. Because, you know, you've been feeding me alcohol all night.
Well, it usually happens every podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you were talking about some story about yourself because we were telling embarrassing stories.
Oh, man. And where was I?
and
Where
you
was I
were-
in my story?
Well, I don't know. You didn't get very far. You said you had to go pee.
Okay.
I'm not sure where you
Good
were going with it.
question.
Yeah.
So, an embarrassing story about me. Well, let's talk about. Okay.
What
first
about an
of all-
embarrassing dating story?
Okay.
Something that was like you did. It was super embarrassing while you were on a date.
Okay. I mean, the most pressing thing that I'm thinking about right now is like the most obvious, which is Melon. Our baby Amelie, basically my dog Mel, but she's been like kind of an issue in a few like dates. You know, like she's a senior dog, and she's my 100% baby. I have a cat, but you know cats are a little easier. But Melly, you know, I share responsibility of her with my bestest friend Paloma, but she also has a dog who is a little more senior than Mel, and so isn't as she's like a very on her Coco is her name. Coco is a fucking amazing dog. She may have her own Instagram. Who knows?
Oh.
Actually, I don't think she does, but she should. Either way, Mel should have her own Instagram, but Mel's like a beautiful baby. But either way, she's literally... she's a stressful baby. Like, with dating situations, it is rough.
So, elaborate. How so?
Yeah.
Or give a example
Okay.
of how it's been stressful.
So, okay, first of all, to begin with in the beginning of, like, talking to anybody, she's weird about, like, a new person, okay? A new person, male, female, old, young, anything. She just has to sniff them, and if they smell like food, then it's, like, maybe okay. So we get past that point. So it's a person that she's, like, okay with on that level, but then, okay... I've had situations where I get back to, like, my apartment, and I have Mel there, and she, like, will start growling a little bit.
Really?
At the dude, yeah. No, like, because she's not ready. Like, she just wants it to be, like, bedtime for me
I've only
and
ever
her.
seen Mel react in two ways. She's either happy for whatever the situation is, or she wants to sleep.
No, that's like, her normal situation, but, like, if she's not sure about something, like, she'll start growling, or like just being like I don't even know if it's growling, but it's like this like low, just like
So do you use it as a tell for your date? Like, maybe this is not
Well,
good.
honestly, it's not even like not even a date's fault, because even if somebody, like, even if Paloma just has friends over, like, or no, not Paloma, Paisley. It used to be Paloma was my old roommate, but she's my best friend. But either way, Paisley's my new roommate, and sometimes Paisley has friends over when I'm just sleeping, and at first Mel will like get a little bit weird about it, and then like once I kind of tell her like it's all good, like she calms down. Like she kind of understands people. Like she understands when it's like she needs to be looking, I don't know. She has like some type of sense of humans, like tendencies. Either it's going to be like they're going to pet her or they're not, or they're going to be like anti her. Like she's very good at avoiding people who don't like dogs. She's really good at that, honestly, which I think is kind of a gift.
Well,
She
good
may
for
have
Merlin.
learned it.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's her magical powers.
It must be her magic powers. Like, I mean, she was adopted at a medium age, so you know, we never know what she's learned in the past. But she's a great dog. She's a great dog. But she also, yeah, she can tell people, but at the same time, like, she can't really, because she will be so jealous. She's a jealous baby. If it comes to like people with a dog that's like as cute or cuter,
So
she hates them.
have
She
you
hates a dog that's
brought
cuter.
someone back to your place and Mel like came up to either A, cuddle with the person, or B, growl at the person to give you kind of an indicator?
The beginning, no. Mel will never cuddle up to a person at first. It takes like many times. It'll be
Kind of
like,
beg to defer that right now.
yeah. Well, this took 2 times at least, and this guy's got, you know, a bed. So we're at Josh's house, and he has a friend staying here, and Mel came with us, but you know, she knew that I was comfortable, so she's like getting all comfied up on the bed with Josh's friend who's staying over, and I mean, she just loves being comfortable, honestly. Like, I mean, if
Yeah, who
anybody
doesn't?
knows Mel, no, Mel specifically, she, like, her top priority is being comfy. Second is fed. Third is like loved,
Hmm.
and fifth or fourth is like extra loved, and then fifth is like her secret dark deep love for like companionship, which is
Every human.
where I no, only the people she really likes. Me and Paloma, for real. That's who really, we fill her bucket. Like we do it for real. Never really had anybody before that. Because she came from
Right.
a hoarder house. They got like a pet hoarder house. I think it was no good for her. But she's a great girl, and she's a fucking awesome dog. And you know, I'm not sure what else we have to talk about, Josh. What do you think?
No, we covered a lot of topics today.
I know we covered.
Do you have any closing thoughts? I mean, as it stands, this is our longest at almost 2 hours.
Oh my god! I was gonna say, it feels like it's been forever.
But it's all right. Next week's podcast is gonna be a long one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
No,
super long
okay,
one.
we have to. Okay. I don't want to be too real, but I'm excited to hear what Curtis has to bring us.
Yeah, I mean, me and him
He's
talked
got
about, we had some stuff planned.
Yeah,
So-
no, and I'm sure he's got like a lot of like cool.
While we were in the bathroom, I was
interesting-
also talking about that we have some user story or some audience stories, some viewer stories.
Fuck yeah.
So we'll talk about those as well.
And he was at the lake this past weekend,
Well, he's
correct?
there every weekend during
He's
the summer.
always there, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got like fun new lake stories.
Yeah.
But I love it. And
Speaking of doing stuff, in August, I'm gonna have my big food festival, which you should be coming to.
food festival?
It's where we'll be doing the beer Olympics as
Oh,
well.
you mean okay,
Yeah.
food, okay.
Yeah. It was like originally two separate things. We're
Yeah,
just gonna
yeah.
combine to the same thing this year.
Yes, I am. I have been enlisted in the Olympics.
Yeah. So I think in that weekend there is either A, going to be no podcast, or B, be a podcast where everyone is super hungover, which
Yeah.
could be entertaining.
Yeah.
Just hear the misery of us.
And parts could be like live. You know, Kurt could be doing.
I don't know about a live podcast for that.
Well,
particular
not
time.
live. Okay, no, not live. Definitely not live. But maybe like. Yeah. No, not live, but. So it could feel like it was live. So it could feel like it was live.
Sure.
With Kurt like being like, yeah, go, live, go, Josh. Like us winning. If we lose, then, I mean, I guess just.
We talk about the Beer Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
We have to win it.
we'll try. There's a lot of drinking games and a lot of things to drink. We'll see.
We'll see.
Some experienced drinkers.
Yeah. Well, that's what you have to look forward to on this podcast.
Any closing thoughts as we wrap this up?
I was just thinking that I think it's really great that we can kind of be really open with all of our ideas and thoughts about just dating and weird situations, and I think it's
That's the whole point
great.
of the podcast.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's this time we didn't have anything planned, and it's really great to be able to still have the same.
Sometimes just having conversations have the best conversations, which
Yeah.
I would like to have more of those.
No, and I
where we
agree.
don't have necessarily have things planned. You know,
I
having
agree.
just a topic running off of can sometimes
Yeah.
carry on for a long time.
No,
And
exactly.
in this podcast, we had 14 different topics.
I know
talked
we
about.
had too many topics, but it was the beginning, and I think it was great, and we'll get more into it. I mean, it's only our fourth podcast, but we're gonna just
We'll
get
keep
better
at
and
it
better.
week to week, as I said earlier.
Yep.
We're recording Sundays, release on Monday mornings.
Yes.
So, thanks for listening, and
Definitely. Thank you so much. We have been the Right Swipe, and we're on YouTube at the moment, and eventually on more things.
we will be on more things eventually.
Yeah.
But
We appreciate your time and your listening, because it's
Yeah.
fun stuff. It's
yeah,
fucking fun.
we enjoy
shit.
it,
Yeah.
regardless whether or not we have any viewers to listen to us. We're going to continue doing this because we just enjoy it. So.
No, yeah, it's
But I do
enjoyable for
appreciate all
everyone.
the audience members that are giving us stories,
course.
and we'll talk about them next week. So next week, expect a very long episode.
Can't wait. I'm excited.
Until then, stay weird.
See you next week.
Dropping beer cans.